evening and welcome everyone to a very special edition of BTV. We are so excited to be broadcasting to you all live from Mary Amory Hall here at the University of Cincinnati. This is our spooky Halloween show and it is jam-packed with content. We've got science, Cincinnati spooks, crafts, and more. We also have an exclusive interview with the president of UC Student Government. But before we get started, let's give a round of applause to our studio band, the Halloweenies. My name is Adam Hesselbrock, and without any further ado, let's get started. Please give a warm welcome to our first correspondent, Kobe Stump, with some Cincinnati spooks. Now, Kobe, what are you dressed up as today?
I'm a ceiling fan.
Awesome, well, take it away.
Hi there, ladies and germs. I'm Kobe Stump. Check your calendar. It's 4 days until Halloween. In honor of this fact, let's get spooky. It's time for the scariest, most terrifying thing that I can muster up. History lessons. This picture is of Cincinnati Music Hall. It's a great place. Beautiful building that holds fantastic performances built on the corpses of hundreds of people. Wait, sorry, got that a little bit wrong. The bodies aren't there anymore. At least not all of them. Look, the whole history of Music Hall is the kind of stuff that belongs right alongside any other horror film. First, in 1821, the city opened up Cincinnati's first insane asylum. As you can see from this picture, it's already the setting of a scary movie. But we haven't even gotten started yet. About a decade later, a massive cholera outbreak hit Cincinnati. 832 people die from it, which is a whole lot of orphans. So the city decides to open an orphanage right next to the insane asylum, creating the Cincinnati Orphan Asylum. Kind of a creepy name, but a nice thought nonetheless. But this was the 1800s, and so people were getting sick from absolutely everything. The hospital needed somewhere to quarantine all these people, and so they chose the orphanage. Now, the orphans were all moved out to a new location. Don't worry about that. This didn't become a version of Annie-Starting lepers when you weren't looking. And the orphan asylum became the pest house. If the city had someone incredibly sick and nothing to do for them, they went to the pest house. The land around the pest house, which, remember, was just an orphanage 5 years ago, becomes the Potter's Field. A mass grave for people that die and who either the city can't figure out who they are or are homeless. For 20 years, the land was used as the Potter's Field, until the square footage of dead bodies was so massive, it encroached upon residential area. The city had to find somewhere else to be Potter's Field. The pest house, which, remember, used to be an orphanage, was getting complaints from nearby property owners for being a plague house surrounded by dead bodies. That's, terrifying, so it had to be relocated to another part of town. Now that the land wasn't being used for burying anonymous dead people, or as a final station before the deathly ill are sent on a train to the afterlife, Cincinnati decided to build a grand concert hall on that land because, why not? They break ground on Music Hall in 1876. They had to dig up a lot of dead bodies in the process, and the men doing so just decided to throw the bones into barrels, because that's a surefire way not to be haunted forever. Except, wait a second, Music Hall is totally super haunted. Like, even before it was officially built, it was haunted. When they were still constructing the place, there were reports of mysterious moans, vague humanoid figures, and when dogs went in there, they came out with their eyes bugging out of their heads and they were whimpering for their masters. After it's built, and to this day, Music Hall is put on a list of the most haunted places in Ohio, or the most haunted places in America. It's completely ridiculous. Stories of the woman in white seen floating around the theater, or of a ghostly young boy giggling, pulling at people's shirts, or moving chairs. Plus, they can't stop digging up bones. Every time they make a new expansion or renovation, there's guaranteed to be a few hundred bones dug up in the process. So Adam, tell me, do you believe in ghosts?
Gosh, for the longest time I haven't. I've been debating over it though, because a lot of my coworkers have been like, hey, do you feel that vibe? Like, something's weird here. And, it makes me think, wonder what is going on, or why do they feel that way,
Yeah. Considering, so you have a little bit of a trepidatious belief in ghosts, and then there's a story I've told you. Do you think that Music Hall could really be haunted?
I think it's definitely a possibility, especially with all the background it has. They have all the deaths, literally on that land, and there's no way they're getting rid of that, because they keep digging up more and more bones, like you said.
And one more question, then I'll be on my way. How much do you think you would need to be paid to spend the night in Music Hall all alone?
Oh, gosh. I'll go $1,000. Give you $1,000, I'll do it.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you again, Kobe, for stopping by. Up next, we've got a new segment called Beat the Clock with Thomas Zins.
Thank you, Adam. Today, throughout our broadcast, we will be having these lovely contestants compete in Beat the Clock. Here, they will be pitted against one another in a time competition to see who comes out with the most creative and conceptual pumpkin. There are no boundaries, no rules. Just make an interesting pumpkin. Now, let's get the names of our contestants here. What is your name, sir?
My name is Brendan. I like pepper jack and cheddar cheese, but Swiss is nothing but hole-punched garbage.
Insightful. And you?
My name's Bethany, and I love love and world peace. Amen.
Amen. And you, sir?
My name's Max. Bam.
Bam. Okay, well, you guys will be given about 20 minutes to use some of the creative arts and crafts in front of you in order to create your very own pumpkin. So, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, on your mark, get set, go. Back to you, Adam.
Great. Good luck to you all. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll have Blake Shemini with a science update and an update from the news record. Until then, please enjoy this music video submitted to us by UC students. You can submit and see more content like this on Campus Cable Channel 51.1. Stay tuned.
Just throw your words, let them splatter with the recipe for disaster. And I'm trying to figure you out. But oh my Lord, have some mercy. Please listen to my story behind the shadows of doubt. And oh my God, fill me up, you pathetic fuck. Just lay your head on that floor and cut the rug. Public access picture on that TV screen. I don't know who you are, but I know what you mean. And I don't want that bullshit that's selling me. Just please, I'm on my knees. Just sing me to sleep.
From the midst of the netherworld, he cried out for help, and you heard his voice, dear Lord. For you cast.
Welcome back to BTV. I'm your host, Adam Hesselbrock, and in the studio now, we have Blake with a spooky science segment. Now, Blake, what are you dressed up as today?
Today, I'm an alien conspiracy theorist, and yes, they are out here.
Okay, awesome.
Hello, my name is Blake Shemini, and this is your BTV Science and Tech Update Hour. However, due to the principle of general relativity, I'll only be here for what will feel like a few minutes. So, let's get started. As you and I and everyone else on this little blue planet knows, there are no such thing as aliens, and we are alone. But wait a minute. There's millions to billions of galaxies in the universe, and each galaxy has at least 100 billion to 1 trillion stars, and if each star can hold dozens to hundreds of planets, and roughly 1/5 of those are projected to be suitable for life, and life has had billions of years to evolve, shouldn't it be obvious that there's life everywhere within the universe? But what's most shocking and confusing is that there is currently no evidence for life anywhere other than Earth. The Fermi paradox, which is the theory and explanation behind all this, tries to explain why this is and give insight and possible solutions as to why we may or may not be alone. For example, one solution to the Fermi paradox is there are events called great filters. Essentially, a great filter is an event that life or a civilization must overcome to grow and evolve. Have it be a rogue asteroid, a plague wiping out a majority of the population, or a war that ends with a strong enough bomb blowing up the planet and destroying everyone. Great filters are basically the universe's way of playing chicken with intelligent life, slowly waiting to see if life can get out of the way and survive. Now, a second solution, and frankly one that's a little more fun to think and theorize about, is interdimensional travel. Let's say a society here on Earth becomes so technologically advanced that they discover a technique for time travel and dimension hopping. Now, let's say a great filter of 1,000 kiloton asteroid is headed straight towards Earth. Instead of moving to a new planet, solar system, or galaxy, that society will simply travel back in time or to another dimension and avoid the asteroid completely. This theory could explain why we have yet to discover aliens. Instead of traveling to separate planets and galaxies altogether, this society could live peacefully on their planet and not have to worry about sending signals or messages to the outside universe. Hence, why we haven't discovered an alien civilization. Now, this is cool and all, but I'll end on this. The first radio signals weren't sent into space until the early 1900s. Then, in the 1960s, the famous WOW signal was discovered, a signal so abstract and abnormal that no star in nature can resemble its signature. Recently, astronomers and cosmologists have found and discovered the TRAPPIST-1 star system 30 light years away from Earth. If it takes 30 years for a radio signal to travel one way through space, and it took 60 years to receive any radio signal resembling something of alien life, Is it possible that the WOW signal could have come from the TRAPPIST-1 star system? Once the James Webb Space Telescope launches in late 2018, it may only be a few years until we finally have an answer to the age-old question, are we alone? So Adam, based on the highly likely probability that there is life in the universe, do you think it's possible that we'll experience or get to see an ET one day?
You know, I do think it is very possible, but I'm not quite sure if we'll see it in our lifetime or not. I know, like you said, after 2018 is when we might start to see a little bit more, and I'll definitely be paying attention to that, but, I honestly don't know what to think. We'll just have to wait and see.
Interesting. So, from our history, we know we've had meteor strikes, plagues, and almost thermonuclear war. Do you think there's a great filter behind us, or do you think humanity might be coming towards another great filter?
Optimistically, I'd like to think that we've overpassed all the filters, at least in our lifetime. But, I mean, the way, I don't know. You never really know what's going to happen next, especially with all, everything going on, like earthquakes and all the hurricanes, all that nature. You never know what's going to happen next.
Interesting.
Cool. So, how did you come about this idea?
Well, I've always been really interested in space and science and technology, and I thought, well, this is a Halloween show. This is kind of a spooky, scary subject, so I thought it would be a great way to bring it to the show and talk about it with everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. All right, so thank you, Blake, for stopping by. Now that we've heard about ghosts and aliens, we are going to go to Claude from TNR. Let's give him a round of applause as he joins us on set.
Good afternoon, I'm Claude Thompson, and this is Bearcast TV News brought to you by the News Record. Printing costs are just one of many ways college reaches into the pockets of students, and that cost is going up. Emily Wilhelm has more.
You used to be able to find the Uniprint station right here in Langsam Library. But this year, the University of Cincinnati traded it for a new printing system called WEPA.
These new kiosks are all over campus. Students can print at any location using their cell phones, laptops, or USB drives.
Okay.
But some aren't sure if the convenience is worth the cost.
A one-sided black and white print costs 7 cents. Colored prints cost as much as 42 cents a page. But only some students have to pay. UC lets each college decide if they want to offer free prints. Most of them are making students foot the bill. That upsets senior engineering student Dion Manuel.
It's definitely not fair. I actually didn't even know that free prints were gone for regular students because we weren't even told it didn't even affect us.
Manuel says he has enough free prints to last him years, but DAP freshman Lindsay Thicker says she struggles to print class projects.
I wish we offered free prints here because I do a lot of printing because I'm in DAP, and that would be really great because I already spend a lot of money on supplies and extras, so.
Lindsay says she appreciates that students have access to good printers, but the extra cost is hard to manage.
I just wish that it wasn't charged. I wish it was free.
Instead, WEPA should stand for We Pay. The new printing system is emptying student pockets. I'm Emily Wilhelm, Bearcast News.
2 pedestrians were struck on Calhoun Street in January near the U Square area. Today, the city has finally made new lighting installments to assist with visibility in the area. Broadcast reporter Emily Wilhelm has the story.
A car hit 2 pedestrians at this crosswalk last January. It now has lights and a sign. Construction crews were seen installing them just last week. We asked some UC students if they think these new safety precautions will prevent further accidents.
Definitely, yeah. On multiple occasions I've walked out and cars are just zooming past. They don't care to stop.
I think that the lights will actually help prevent accidents. It gives the drivers a little bit of a notice to make sure that they're watching for students crossing the street.
I think the new crosswalk lights and signs will help because I was almost hit by a car 2 weeks ago. I cross the street all the time. A lot of times it's really hard for cars to see us coming, and they don't stop. And we almost get hit quite often, so I really like the signs here.
For the News Record, I'm Emily Wilhelm.
The University of Cincinnati caved to legal pressure from white nationalist Richard Spencer, who has been given permission to speak on campus. Here's Emily Wilhelm with the details.
Pinto says the reason for this is to uphold the First Amendment. We talked to some UC students to see what they think about Spencer coming to UC.
Well, I support freedom of speech, but I do think that it's wrong for us to allow Richard Spencer to come speak. Because his ideology is so hateful, it puts the students and faculty in danger.
I mean, it's great that we have opportunities for people to come, but I don't think this is the right setting, or like the people with what's going on right now in the U.S. and everything's happening. I don't think it's the right place to be doing this, and I think that there should be a better way to go about it, because I don't think that it would be good for race relations as is on campus.
Okay, I think it's a little overblown. I mean, I understand he's speaking like hate rhetoric and everything like that, but I feel like protesting it is not the way to go. I feel like we should just leave him alone and just kind of keep to ourselves.
Honestly, I just don't really understand the big deal about his coming. I honestly think that if we just allow him to speak, even though we all disagree with him for the most part, just allow him to speak and allow him to go. It doesn't give him much power, so let's just let him do it.
I'm actually a little afraid. I'm actually trying to decide if I even want to show up on campus that day, but I don't want to miss work and school, and it kind of sucks that I have to be afraid to go outside of my own house, in my own city, in my own school, so I'm just afraid and trying to decide if I'm even going to show up that day.
I'm frankly kind of surprised that he's able to come. I mean, I understand that UC is the student body and the people in power have to be able to open and have basically anyone and anybody's opinions at any point in time, but I'm kind of surprised that would be allowed, considering how people in the area, I think, would react.
Yeah, I do have to agree. It's a lot of surprise, especially like them letting someone with so much hate come to just spew out all of this hate to this large student body. That's something we really don't need in this day and age.
President Pinto ended his email by saying how UC's diversity is one of the many things that makes it so great, and gave his support to all those who feel targeted by Spencer. For the News Record, I'm Emily Wilhelm.
While the date and location are still to be determined, Cincinnati City Council and civil rights groups have already denounced his imminent appearance. Halloween is right around the corner, and with Halloween comes candy. But you should take caution in the candy you buy or eat. Here's reporter Catherine Danwin with the story.
Sometimes the stress of college can cause you to stray from your diet, and sometimes you might need a cheat day. But cheat day could turn deadly for University of Cincinnati junior Alina George. Common foods like potato, coconut, and peas could cause Alina to go into anaphylactic shock. And she's not the only one in her family with this problem. Alina's sister Andrea also has to watch what she eats.
I think what just really sucks about having allergies is like food is like one of those things that's supposed to like help you live. Like you eat to live, you know what I mean? And that's what can possibly kill me or like kill Andrea.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says the number of kids with food allergies went up 18% between 1997 to 2007. Andrea was born with a very long list of food allergies, while Alina developed them over time.
Milk, wheat, soy, nuts, tree nuts, fish, seafood, pine nuts, peanuts, sesame, and peas. Like even a lot of my friends have like out of the blue kind of developed allergies recently.
Not only do these restrictions affect her at home, but at her school as well.
Once had a really bad allergic reaction, so I had to sit with my sister for lunch that day, and then I went back for dinner and all the girls were like, "Oh, don't sit with us. Oh, allergy free, get away from us. Sit with your sister."
Alina and Andrea may feel alone in the world with their allergies, but at least they have each other. Catherine Von Wynn, UC News.
Finally, with the spookiest holiday on our doorstep, Emily Wilhelm took to the streets to find out what students around campus had in store for this year's Halloween.
Going to
Halloween haunt on Saturday. And then for actual Halloween, I think I'm going to like a party or something, but that's it for now. Hopefully something else scary. Maybe Dent Schoolhouse, because I've never been there.
I'm behind the curve. I need to find me a costume. I don't even know.
What are you thinking about being?
Something super dope. Gotta stay fresh.
I really have no idea at this point. I'm just going to kind of do it on the fly and see what happens.
What are you thinking about being?
I have no idea. Maybe Batman? Why not?
I know I'm decorating my dorm door, so that's exciting. Me and my roommate are trying to plan something. We don't know yet.
Awesome. What are you thinking about being?
That's a great question. I don't know. Probably like something cute, like an animal of sort. I haven't been to a Halloween party yet, so I'm excited.
I do not have any fall and Halloween plans right now. No.
What are you thinking about being?
I'm thinking about being maybe a lifeguard. That's usually my go-to. It's pretty easy to throw together.
Thank you for joining us for Bearcast TV News, brought to you by the News Record. Back to you, Adam.
All right. Thank you, Claude. Next up, we have the do's and don'ts of Halloween with Michaela Boyd.
Hi, my name's Michaela, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the do's and don'ts of Halloween. Let's get started. Do be creative. Think of some costume nobody else would be wearing. Don't dress up as a Mexican. That can be very offensive depending on the person's culture. Do wear a costume or outfit that is visible to cars if you're going to be going out at night or when it's dark. Don't wear blackface or any other colored face because it might offend other people of different cultures or races, even if the character you're dressing up as is another race. Do carry a flashlight. This will help you be visible at night and see who else is walking near you. Don't. Probably shouldn't just dress up as other cultures in general, just to be safe. Dress at your own risk. Do keep in mind what the weather will be. You don't want to wear an outfit that's going to make you very cold, and you don't want to wear an outfit that's going to make you very hot. Don't dress up as a mental disorder. Again, this can be very offensive to people who do have a mental disorder. Do make sure your costume fits well and properly. Don't eat too much candy on Halloween. Do go in groups when you're trick-or-treating and going out to a party. Remember to leave and go to parties with the same people you came with. Don't drink too much. Know your limit. Also, don't drink and drive. Do check out candy before you eat it. You want to make sure that there's nothing harmful in the candy before you eat it. Don't leave your friend at a party alone, especially if they are intoxicated. If you remember these do's and don'ts, you're sure to have a great Halloween. Happy Halloween, Bearcats!
Thanks, Michaela. Now, back to Thomas Zins with Beat the Clock.
Thanks, Adam. Now let's check in on our contestants. Okay, let's see what we have here. Everybody turn around your pumpkins. Let's see.
So I'm kind of going for a creepy ghoul kind of looking guy. You know, just trying to make him look as scary as possible. That's really all my goal is, just to make him look as scary as possible.
I think I've seen that in my nightmare before. Inspiration for this piece?
Yeah, nightmares. Nightmares about sums it up.
Okay, yeah, pretty accurate. And you?
So I wanted to do something that represented life and also death, you know, because the trees, when the leaves fall off the trees and it kind of goes from life to death. And also I wanted to show the root system as well, to show that we're grounded in something.
Seems like a well-rooted concept you got going on. And let's see. Oh my God.
It's a spider.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Well, you guys only have a few more minutes left, so you better hurry. Now back to you, Adam.
All right, now here's a quick sneak peek from a student-made short film. When we get back, we'll have an interview with Bashir from Student Government. Stick around. Welcome back to BTV. If you enjoyed that sneak peek, the whole short film will be shown on Campus Cable 51.1 on Halloween at 4 p.m. In the studio now, we have the President of Student Government, Bashir M. Lemdi. Welcome.
Hi.
So, what are some of your duties as President of Student Government?
So it's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Ultimately, it kind of becomes the student representative and student advocate in anything and any decisions that administrators are coming to. And then it's also as the leader of student government. It's like a 130 plus person organization.
Yeah.
So all the different initiatives that we come out with.
Now, speaking of like all 130 people, if you had to explain to someone, like a quick recap, how does student government work?
Gotcha. So it's kind of like actual government in that there are different branches.
Yeah.
There's the executive with myself, the VP, Dana Drage, other exec members. There's a legislative branch with directors, and that's directors of pretty much everything from transportation to international student affairs to the LGBTQ plus affairs director to African American student affairs. So it's a little bit of everything on the legislative end. And then the judicial side, it's just student court and kind of keeps everything in check.
Awesome. What are some things maybe that you've accomplished that you're most proud of so far as president?
Gotcha. So earlier in the show, there was a TNR little excerpt about the crosswalk on Calhoun Street.
Yeah.
So that's been in discussion for the last year or so, and just a couple months ago, we actually finally found the city planning officials that wanted to work with us. And obviously, student government didn't pay for it or anything, but finally we're able to basically voice it. It was a very big concern of students. Also this week, we had free flu shots for a bunch of students, and just a way to make healthcare a little more accessible. Just some random things.
Well, congratulations about that. Now, has being president of student government influenced your career choice at all, or have you considered, maybe a more political path in the future?
It actually has affected it. So when I came in my first year, I was a neuroscience major.
Okay.
Just planning on doing pre-med, going to med school, and going from there. And now I just don't want to do that at all. I've picked up a business major, and I want to work for a couple years and go to law school and see where it takes me from there.
All right. Well, I wish you the best in that. Why did you choose to get involved with student government? What brought you to that?
I've been involved with a few random things since my first year.
Okay.
I give tours, do a lot of stuff with the athletic department, the student alumni council, and obviously student government throughout. And I never really planned on running for student body president. It just kind of happened naturally because it's the position that was most able to kind of serve general student issues and have an impact on administrators and the actual decisions that get made.
Yeah, great. So what would you say makes student government unique? I know you said you're involved in a lot of different organizations.
It's definitely the access to make a difference on campus. Be it conversations with administrators to figuring out what it is students want to see differently, be it changes in printing to student safety.
Yeah. How can students get involved with student government if they want to learn more?
The biggest thing is just make sure your voice gets heard. Don't be afraid to tweet at us. Come to student government office in 655 Stager to just finding someone's email or phone number that's a senator, president, vice president, whatever. There are different committees. There's Senate meetings that are open and a lot of different ways to get involved.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bashir, for coming in. And a big thank you to student government for all the hard work you guys do. In the studio now, we have our Four Paws dog for the month, Bean, and his owner, Kenzie. Now, if you guys didn't know, we've been having Four Paws dog every show for us. So this is our third show, and this is our third Four Paws dog. Hello. Oh. So can you tell us a little bit about Bean?
Yeah, so Bean is a 5-month-old golden retriever. He's a service dog in training here on campus. I'm co-fostering him with a girl named Megan King.
Okay.
So yeah.
How did you hear about Four Paws?
Four Paws. So I actually met one of the dogs in one of my classes last year, and just their temperament is awesome. And then I got to talking to people about the program and realized like I really just love how they change the lives of others, and they change your life in the meantime as well. So it's just a really great way to give back and have fun doing it.
Have you faced any challenges having to take a dog with you everywhere you go in college?
Campus has been really good to us so far. I think like my biggest challenge is just you do kind of have that big responsibility with you. So always having your hands full and making sure that they're not going to walk out into the street or anything like that. But they've been really good to us at UC so far.
Any favorite moments you've had so far with Bean?
He sleeps a lot, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, he's perked up a lot in the last few weeks. So just getting him out and playing, when he sees the other Four Paws dogs, that's probably the most exciting part. So
awesome. Now, what would you give? What advice would you give to someone who's interested in fostering a Four Paws dog?
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in fostering a Four Paws dog, definitely join as a general body member for now.
Okay.
Through Campus Link. Type in 4, we're the first ones that come up. And then you can apply. They'll open that back up in the spring semester.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Bean and Kenzie. Up next, we're going to go back to Beat the Clock.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Everybody, put down your stuff. Now let's see what we have here. Everybody turn around your pumpkins. Okay, now I want you to finally give your final explanation of your creations, if you can, please.
All right. Well, if I'm gonna give it a name, I'd probably naturally name it Nightmare. This is Nightmare, my pumpkin. He loves long walks on the beach and eating your children.
Me too. Yeah. Okay. And Bethany, what is your creation?
So I decided to make all the leaves go from green to yellow to orange to red to no leaves, just to represent the circle of life, you know?
I mean, that's my favorite song from the Lion King soundtrack, so why not? And Max, what is yours?
Mine is a smelly spider eating spaghetti.
Punny. Okay. Now, we will be having our distinguished panel of judges, a.k.a. our crew, decide who is the Beat the Clock champion for Halloween. Back to you, Adam, while they make their decision.
At the top of the show, I introduced our studio band, the Halloweenies, and they have been doing fantastic tonight. Now performing their original song, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Halloweenies. Let's hear them for them, folks. The Halloweenies with their song Autumn Leaves. Now, back to Beat the Clock to find out who our winner is.
Okay, here we go, guys. Are you guys ready? Yes. Okay. Can I get a drum roll, please? And our winner is... It's Martha Stewart. I'm kidding. It's Matt. I mean, Brendan. Come on up here. Congratulations.
Jesus Christ, what the... Okay, I can work with this.
Do you have anything to say as the winner?
I hope it's worth the stains that will be on my hands for the next couple weeks.
Thank you. Okay, well, there you have it. All of you guys, give yourselves a big round of applause and feel free to pick up any of the candy on the way out. Back to you, Adam.
All right, a big thanks to everyone here who helped make this happen. Now, everyone here at BTV, we all thank you for watching. Happy Halloween. Have a great night.